This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this call started. And if anybody has any questions, you can obviously just simply ask. Okay, so you can ask if you're online, you can ask in the chat. If you're other than online, you can just pipe up and give a call. So let's get started. So this is Power Monday Mastermind. We do this every Monday at 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, so in other words, California time. So today I'm going to go over a lot of different things. So this particular call, we're calling it Thinking Out of the Box. One of the things that I'm finding for myself and for a lot of the people that I deal with is that we're having success maybe, but that success is not as great as it could be and should be. And so one of the things that I am finding when I talk to my clients is that all of us, right, we get in our own way. And I've mentioned that before, and I'm probably going to mention it over and over and over and over again because it's just so true. And I see it even with myself. All right. So in this journey, the only difference between you and I is that I might be a little bit further down the road in this journey than you are. So therefore, I can probably impart some knowledge to you, just like there are people that are much further down the road than I. And so I seek out their information and knowledge so that I can, learn from them so I can try to get to where they're at. And it's just a big circle. It's literally the road of life. And so getting back to the thinking out of the box thing, one of the things that I'm doing currently is, even though I believe beyond a shadow of a doubt, even though I believe, more than I could ever say, that if you want to have any long-term or great success, that you have to find something and just stick with it no matter what. You have to stick with it. You have to just fight through, make it happen. You have to make it a part of your entire existence. You have to, whatever that business is, you just have to get with it and stay with it until it just picks up and runs, and you get the level of success that you're looking for, find both financially and also the feeling that you get, inside when you're doing something successful. So you have to do that. It's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Or if you are going to do something, outside of that very specific narrow thing that you're going to get into, it needs to be within that niche, right? So let's say that you want to be a very successful realtor, right? Well, being a successful realtor is going to take all your focus, effort, and energy, and you're going to have to just literally be that person, right? Male, female, whatever, just have to be that person and just dive into real estate and say, screw it, I'm not doing anything else. If you got to work a job in the beginning, that's fine. That's understandable. We all have to go through that. But you're just going to focus. Your job is your job, but you're going to focus, and put all your intent and effort and energy into the real estate thing. You're going to have sleepless nights. You're going to have, extra long days, long weekends. All your energy, all your oomph is going to go into the real estate thing. So that's where your focus is. But the deal is that even though all of your focus is into the real estate thing, it does not hurt to add extras to that if it's in the same arena, right? So I've known very successful realtors to go out and, be able to do loans as well as being a listing agent, right? So they're a listing agent, but they're also, they get whatever documentation necessary, whatever classes necessary, whatever licensing necessary, so that they can also do loans, right? So that way, they're winning on both sides. So their focus, their absolute focus is on real estate, but they get the loans or become able to do loans because that enhances their ability to make more money while they're focused in that real estate arena. Because I'm telling you, success, and I see this in my own world, right? Success comes from complete, utter mental focus on one thing. Whatever it is that you say that you're into, if you give that thing your all, it comes to fruition. It's just a universal law. And even though I don't always adhere to that law, even though I don't always work in that arena, I know it to be true because I've seen it over and over and over and over again in my own life. But I will admit, it's not the easiest thing if you're just doing something to make a living. Does that make sense? So I do a lot of things not because I'm just crazy about them, because I'm good at it and I make money at it. And so, but it's not my passion. So that's why sometimes I find myself getting deviating from my focus in doing other things, which typically turn out to be a big waste of money, right? But when I am focused on my primary pathway, I tend to do very, very well in that pathway when I give it my all, when I give it my focus, my undivided attention, so to speak. My income goes up, and when my income goes up, that means more money in my pocket to do more things for my family, for myself, that type of thing. And so it's very important to just say, okay, I have my focus, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. I have my focus, but understand that it's okay to do things within that very same niche marketplace, within that very same arena that will enhance what you're doing. But you have to have focus. So that is key to thinking out of the box, which is doing what we're supposed to be. We have to start thinking, becoming contrarians, right? Which means that we are contrary, we're moving in a contrary direction from the rest of the sheeple, hugely important. I mean, it's just, once again, I'm telling you guys things that I see not only in my own life, right? So I can talk about it because I see it, live it, and experience it in my own existence, but also I see it in other people's existences. I see it in other people's life and how they conduct themselves, what's going on with them. I've seen plenty of people, excuse me, not necessarily like what they're doing, but they do it well, right? Because it's their focus, it's their thing, and they might say, it's not really what I want to do, but it pays the bills, and so they throw themselves into that thing, whatever it might be, and they're freaking good at it, and they kill the game, so to speak. And so we have to start thinking differently than the average individual if we want to generate more capital, more money, if we want to do better for ourselves, right? And so I'm saying all of this because I'm trying to prep you for a couple of different things that we're going to be getting into. So we always talk about money. We always talk about, cleaning up your credit, going after, business lines of credit cards and how to clean up your personal credit, how to go out and get funding. We always talk about that stuff. But the problem is that, talking about that and that alone I think does you a disservice, because you have to have, um, like business. You have to have a business that is generating capital. You have to have, whether it's something that you just really love doing or something that you're doing because you know it makes money. Either way, you have to have something that generates capital, and preferably something that's going to generate you a lot of capital. It's extremely important, because as you're going out and getting all this funding and loans and all this other stuff, you don't want to put yourself in a trick bag where you've created, 50, 100, 2, 3, 4, $500,000, $1 million in credit that you have sitting, and you don't have any income to support that, right? Because it's awesome to have a bunch of money, but unfortunately, if you're not generating money, that money that you borrowed is going to go quick, fast, in a hurry, and it's going to go so fast, and then you're going to find yourself right back to where you started, which is in the shitter. You don't want to position yourself just to set yourself up to lose, right? So, and I definitely don't want to participate in helping you set yourself up to lose. My objective, my goal is to help you set yourself up so that you can win, not just win a little bit, but win a lot. So I want to make sure that we all have an understanding that building business credit is an awesome thing. Corporate credit's an awesome thing. Your personal credit's an awesome thing. But what are we going to utilize to support that the credit that we've built? If you're fortunate enough to have an awesome job, great, right? But we're talking about building a lot more credit, a lot more everything than a little bit. So I really want to take today and focus on you building your business, in understanding that takes direction, and it takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness, right? So we're going to deep dive into that, and not so much getting the money, the financing, and all that kind of stuff. So one of the biggest problems that I have found with most of our clients is that they don't know, because a lot of them are they're not 20-something people, and so that they just don't know what or how to do something. So we have a venture that we're starting, and with that venture, my entire purpose for starting this venture is as a way of building a client base, if you will, right? Even though it has nothing to do with the businesses that I do, but what I have found is that we need eyeballs, we need a wealth of people, so that I can casually market to, or somebody's making a lot of noise, so you need to mute yourself, please. So what I wanted to do is, we're going to help you today, go after these different places that are going to help you develop your business, help you become a little bit more laser focused on developing a client base and positioning your business so that your business looks like a business. And so I've mentioned Fiverr before, but I'm going to go back to Fiverr again. So for those of you who are actually online instead of on the phone, and if you go to Fiverr.com, which is FIVERR.com, right? For those of you who are online, you'll be able to see my screen. So I don't know why it's taking a moment for the screen to load, but it should be loading momentarily. Okay, so let me share my screen again. Okay, so anyways, on Fiverr, we have a project, and this project that we're working on, once again, I just mentioned, has nothing to do with my current business, but it has everything to do with me developing um, tens of thousands, hopefully hundreds of thousands of eyeballs that I can control. So I have this little game that I play with my family that I thought about. We do it at family get-togethers and, at the picnics I have and what have you. I hate that word picnics, but at the barbecues that I have, um, so in the game is called 60-second stand-up. And so I launched I bought the domains for that name, 60-second stand-up. And basically it's all about setting people have to get up and for 60 seconds, I didn't care what they did, whether it was, tell jokes, do a little dance routine, my little nephews and nieces, or something, right? And so what I did was I decided, well, let me take that and because people like it, it's an icebreaker, all that good stuff, and let me develop it into something where I can create a grouping of people that I can market to casually, right? And plus, PayPal. I'm not sorry, not PayPal, but YouTube will pay me for the videos anyway. Because one of the things that I want you guys to do in your businesses is start putting out content as regular as possible with your business. It's very important. You're not going to get a lot of money, and if I can, log into my account here a little bit later, I'll do so. But the deal is that, I have like, I don't know, it's like 340 some odd dollars sitting in an account that YouTube has for me, right? And so I want you guys to go to Fiverr if you can, and I want you to understand that utilizing Fiverr, not necessarily for your advertising, but for the little things. So like I have just the other day purchased some gigs on Fiverr, and one of them is several of them are spokesperson videos. And so you can literally, like, if you have content and you want to start putting content out every day or several times a week or at least weekly, then you can go on Fiverr and just go to like literally type in their search queue for spokespeople, and a whole ton of people will come up, and all you got to do is submit your video. Submit your whatever it is that you want them to say, and they'll do it. They'll say whatever it is, talk about your business, talk about your product or service, talk about, as you know, because I've said it in the past, you want to give away something to people that it has value to it, right? Because psychologically, if you're giving people value, just in a video or telling them, how they can do something, then they're going to there's a greater chance that they're going to actually call you because you are the person out of all those videos that's actually giving them something that they can use. So there's a great chance that they're going to call you. I don't care if you're in credit repair business, if you're in insurance business, the home loan business, janitorial, you're a plumber, whatever it is, start doing tutorials, start setting yourself up as the expert, start posting these videos, and create, it doesn't take much, create a Facebook, that's kind of sucky, but create a Facebook page, right? So you have to create your personal page, and then you can create an actual or separate page for your business, and so start placing Q&As for like I said, if you're a plumber, do some tutorials, become that expert for people, right? Because we want you to start generating more money for your business so that when you go out and start getting loans and all the other stuff that I teach, you can support those loans. You can pay for those loans, because there's nothing worse than raising, 50 or 100,000 or $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 and you can't pay for it, right? It's the stupidest crap in the world. And once again, I don't want to be in a position where I've taught you how to do something, and you have no basis for being able to take care of it and pay it back and subsequently grow it so that you can create millions of dollars. And so therefore you can actually really do something. We want you to have a successful business as well as be able to go out and get all this loan money and what have you. And so back to Fiverr, utilizing someplace like Fiverr to get to get a spokesperson. If you're not, with being in front of the camera, you can do that. I mean, you can find on Fiverr people that will do automation. So you can literally, have your script, whatever it is, where you're telling about how to, I don't know, if you're a plumber, how to, take up an old toilet and put a new one down, put the little wax ring down, and they'll automate all that out, right? And so it's not like if you're afraid of being on the camera that you can't have your video created. If you're talking about loans, and you don't want to be on the camera, you can have someone, read the script, or you can have it done in an automation fashion, right? In cartoon fashion, where somebody will do a voiceover for you and sketch out, like there'll be like this little cartoon character sketching out everything that you're talking about, and just making it look really, really awesome. But the thing that we all, including myself, need to do is start positioning ourselves in the places that are working, which is, the Instagrams of the world, the YouTubes of the world, the Twitters of the world, and the Facebooks of the world. We have to start positioning ourselves so that we're able to start taking advantage of the client base that's out there that, quite frankly, once again, when I talk to my clients, they're losing out on. They're not developing that. So once again, what I have done lately, even though it has nothing to do with my business per se, not even per se, it just doesn't. We created this little thing called 60-second stand-up, and I'm utilizing this idea, 60-second stand-up, for one reason only. I'm giving away $500 a month to anybody, I don't give a crap who it is, who submits a video that's funny, right? If you're going to stand in your living room and tell jokes for 60 seconds and submit that video to me, if you're the funniest person that we see, plus you get the most, the most thumbs up and the most views, then you know what? I'll give you $500, right? And so my concept for doing all of this is because I want to create a platform or a place, which is the 60-second stand-up format, so that I can get a shitload of people participating, also getting these people to promote their own videos, right? Because there's a lot of people that think they're funny, and they're going to have their family and friends go to our YouTube channel, which is the YouTube channel is 60-second stand-up. Once again, these people are going to send their family and friends to 60-second stand-up and to watch their video, which is going to give me more YouTube views, and then also I will transplant these videos into Twitter, into Facebook, into Instagram, and several other social media places, and start developing, my own list, if you will, right? And because a list is hugely important, and you have to find creative ways of developing your list. So either you're going to put up videos every day and put content out every day, and then subsequently create either, have a phone number for people to call you, and then you're going to collect their information that way, or you're going to create a captcha page, right, where you're going to give away a free book or something or another, where they have to put in their name and their email address so that you can reach out to them whenever you want to. But in some fashion or form, you're going to have to start developing your business better, so that, once again, our whole key for doing all of this crap is because ultimately we want to be able to um, build a business that's thriving enough that so when we go out and get loan money, we can afford to pay it back. Hugely important. Hugely important. Right? So my way of developing a greater list, if you will, is through this thinking out of the box, this 60-second stand-up thing. Right? So we literally just put up our first set of videos um, Saturday, right? And I had a guy submit his videos. He's a stand-up comic from back east, and just in no time at all, with this new project, if you will, we have, I think it's a total of, let's call it 26, 32, 33, 34, 35. We have 35 views in basically a day and a half, right? 35 views on the videos that we've put up. And so this is 35 potential people that I can reach out to and show them something else that I want them to see, right? And so you guys, hopefully you're understanding what I'm trying to accomplish here, because the more eyeballs I can control, the more people that I can reach out to, the more money I can make. And so that's why you're going to use Fiverr. If you go to Fiverr, you can have people that will even create. If you're not technical in any way, shape, or form, you can go to Fiverr and you can find people on Fiverr that will create or set up all your social media for you, right? So they'll set up your Instagram accounts, they'll set up your Facebook, Twitters, they'll do all that for you. And so we have to get out of our own way sometimes, and realistically, we have to start thinking in a larger, more expansive way and being focused on what it is that we say we want to do. And I just find places like Fiverr are awesome for that. Let's say that you don't want to, you don't have time to write out, whatever it is, whatever field of study you're in, you don't have time to write out stuff every day. You can go to places like iWriter. Fiverr can do it too, but you can go to places like iWriter or Fiverr, and you can find people that will write content for you every day, right? And you can then take that, and it doesn't matter what the field is, because what they will do is they'll go on the internet, excuse me, they'll go on the internet and read it and rewrite it in their own words and then hand it over to you for the cost of $5 or $10, right? And maybe even 15 on the outside. And then you find somebody on Fiverr that will read that 50 words or 100 words, and they might charge you another $10 or something to do that. And boom, you have a video. You start placing yourself out in the public sphere to start building your business, and or become creative and just do it yourself. Start putting up a video, so that you're take your cell phone and create a video talking about whatever the hell it is you do, and start putting that out every day. I mean, some of you were on the call that we had several weeks ago, where one of my brokers, a young lady named Tanya, talked about how much business she gets from Instagram, and she just says it's become a habit with her. She wakes up in the morning, posts 2 times, I believe, in the morning on Instagram, and then post 1 time in the midday, and then post 2 more times in the later afternoon. So that way she's catching a broader segment of people, and then she'll hashtag her stuff because she's in the same business sector that I'm in. So she'll do like a few hashtags, hashtag CPN, hashtag trade lines, hashtag credit repair, that type of thing. And she'll put that out, and she gets a shitload of business. She has a $200,000 a year business doing that. And so if we're not in the public sphere in some fashion or form, then our businesses will not do as well. And then all that stuff I've been teaching about giving loans will not serve you well, right? So that's why this whole call is thinking outside the box. I can't stress that enough. What is it that you can do to develop you? If you don't have time, there are avenues for you. There are plenty of avenues. I keep on bringing up Fiverr because I use them a fair amount. But the truth of the matter is that there are a lot of other companies like Fiverr, and you can find those companies just by simply Googling, right? Companies like Fiverr. And it's a no-brainer, to say the least. I mean, you can literally start Googling, hey, companies like Fiverr, and you get a boatload of them. Once again, I like Fiverr. They have a really good, they have a wealth of different things that I can use. So, for instance, for my social media, I just used a guy this past. I think I ordered the gig on Thursday, and I think he got everything to me by Friday, which came out really, really lovely in my opinion, which are the banners, very professional looking banners for each one of the new social media accounts I set up. So it cost me, because I had him do 6 banners, I think my cost was something like I want to say $35, maybe something in that neighborhood. I'm actually, I need to try to pull it up real quick so that I can take a look, and I'll be able to tell you exactly what it cost me. So I'm sorry. So it cost me $35. Fiverr charges an extra $2. And this guy created, as I mentioned, 6 social media banners that look awesome. I mean, really good looking social media banners for this new project that we're working on, 60-second stand up. And those banners for that $35 plus the $2 for Fiverr, their little fee that they charge. I mean, it's a win-win. It's ridiculous. I'm paying people what I consider to be very little money to have them help me, propel my business, so that way I can make more money. So that way I have money to pay back all these loans and whatnot I'm getting. So the core is developing our business. And I'm going to keep on saying that throughout this call, because it's that important. How are you developing your business? Once again, getting the loans, getting the credit cards, all this other crap, that's wonderful. But if you don't have a developed business that you can, when you're getting these monies in, that you can't afford to pay things back, you're screwing yourself before you start. So once again, utilize other people's services. Don't, get out of your own way. Don't, what am I trying to say here? Don't stop being, no, let me get away from that. Use people that know what they're doing to get yourself started. Spend that extra, 10, 20, 30, $50 so that you can get someone who knows what they're doing to do something which is going to position you so that you can start making more money. Once again, I just hired a couple of people on Fiverr to do some some commercials for me, basically, that I'm going to play on YouTube, and and I'm going to set a budget for maybe $10-15 a day, and run it for the first couple of few weeks at $10 to $15 a day. I mean, that's not a lot of money, you guys. That's $50 a week, to help promote my business. I mean, I think that's ridiculously cheap, in my opinion. And you can do the same thing with Instagram. And once again, if you're not technical, like a lot of the people on my calls, we're older. So, we still might be older and sexy, but nonetheless, we're older and we're not into all this, as much of the computer stuff. Like, I was talking to my son yesterday, and I was talking about, he was talking about all the crap that he does on his cell phone that he used to do on his laptop, and I'm like, dude, I just can't do all that. And he's like, dude, they're not checking for you. They're. He works in the film industry, and he was saying that on some of it, they just did a Geico commercial, and I know this is a little off topic, but I want you to understand how things are rapidly progressing. They just did a Geico commercial, or he worked on a Geico commercial, and the Geico commercial was filmed with film that was specifically set up just for Instagram, because it only does like a 1-by-1 type of framing or some crap. And he's like, it costs just as much, if not more, to film that commercial as it does to film a commercial for TV. Is that not like the craziest thing? So I would not know where to start with that kind of stuff. So that's why I'm telling you, if companies like Geico are doing that, then that means that we need to do those very same things. But since I'm not going to try to figure that out, we need to hire people that can. We have to, once again, we gotta, like, I have no shame in my game. I use not only Fiverr, but several other places that, that can do this stuff for me. And I'm not saying I have a huge budget either. I figure it out as I go along, and if I can position myself as my broker does, Tanya, so that I can put up, 5 posts a day, which I don't, but she puts up 5 posts a day on Instagram, like she said on a call a couple of weeks back, and or she has a $200,000 a year business in the CPN trade lines and credit repair business. She also does taxes, but that's only during a certain time of the year. But she's generating that kind of money, and she's in Louisiana, for God's sake. She's in Louisiana in the middle of nowhere, and killing the game. And so we, right, have to position ourselves that if we're not able to do something ourselves, get out of our own way, stop procrastinating, find someone else who can do it. And just like with me, I want to give you guys this guy's thing, because I want you guys to look him up and buy his gig, because I want you to say to yourself that I'm going to create 6 different social media accounts, right? This is what I want you guys to do. Buy this gig. It's going to cost you $35 and additional $2 to, just so we're going to call it $37 total. His handle, if you go to Fiverr, his handle is BIP-LOB-05. BIP-LOP-05. It's all lowercase. BIP-LOP-05. And for $37, you are going to have him create your banners, right? Your professional banners with your business, for the top 6 social media. All right? That's what I did. Even if you don't have your social media account set up, I want you guys to buy these banners today or tomorrow from this guy. Have him start working, because it's going to take him, I think it's 3 business days. He'll probably get it to you in a day early or so, but let's just say 3 business days. Buy them, have him start doing the artwork, have him set them up, and they're because all the different social media sites have different sizes that they want, and he already knows all that crap. So you don't even have to figure that out. And then once you have him do that, you or your son or daughter or your grandchild even need to have them set up your social media accounts with Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Those are like the primary ones, and then there's several others that you can do. I had him do. I can't even think now. So it just shows how I'm not really with it as I should be. But what else did I have him do? I can only think of those 4 right now because I had to actually look and see what the other ones were to begin with to even have him do them. I went online and I just looked up, the top social media, and then I just, cut and paste that into the order. So, but go to that guy, have him, start that for you because everybody on this phone call, if you don't have it, you will have by the end of this week. That's the homework that you're going to have, right? Is by the end of this week, everybody needs to have all of their social media set up, period. And you need to have a professional banner for your business on that social media. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We all need to create more dollars and cents in our business. And then while you're on Fiverr, after you make this order with the gentleman I just mentioned, and then you are going to turn around and start looking for people on Fiverr. If you don't have a family member that is young enough to Google Plus. Google, you want to get a Google header. That's the other one. That's important because there's Google Plus. There's Google, and you want to have a Google header as well. So I just found my thing. Yeah, so Facebook for their timeline cover, Twitter, Google, YouTube, and then your regular Google profile picture. And you can also have him do the banner for your website because you want what is it? The word I'm looking for? Congruency. You want everything to look the same. So have him do it. He'll do all of that for you. Bingo, bango. You have congruency across all of your platforms. Also here on Fiverr, you can find someone to actually create. It doesn't have to be sexy, but a landing page for you. So basically just a very one-off, I shouldn't say one-off, a very short website. A landing page is simply typically a one-page website where you can collect people's, information and then send them something for that information, right? So whether it's a video you have created, whether it's an ebook that you have created or you create yourself, or a video you create yourself, if you don't have a website, you want to create at least a little one-page website that you can have people go to and start collecting names and email addresses. Huge, 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 huge. The reason I get people on my phone calls every week is because I've been collecting emails over the years. Does that make sense? The only reason, one of the reasons I make money is because I'm able to send out offers to my email list. And admittedly, I have been neglectful of my email list and as far as growing it. And I'm going to get back to growing my email list, starting, last week actually. Because without you having that in your arsenal, it's going to hamper your business immensely. So we're all going to start growing our businesses. We're all going to start working together to grow our businesses. if you guys find out something that you think is worthwhile to share with everybody else, send me an email, right? So I'm telling you guys about the different places I use, like the Fivers of the world, the iWriters of the world. If you want somebody to write an ebook for you, go to iWriter. They'll write an entire ebook for you on whatever topic you can think of. They'll go online, do the research once again, and give that to you. I hope this is making sense to you guys, because it's important, right? There's no one on this phone call that shouldn't be generating $50,000 to $100,000 a year in their business. There's just no reason not to, because it's not difficult. Once you get past that $100,000 mark, it's going to take more effort, more work, but to generate $50,000 to $100,000 a year is not difficult. It seems difficult because it's just something you might not be doing at this second in time, but it's not that difficult. Some of you have done it in the past and aren't doing it now, and the reason being, in my opinion, is because, like myself, we get a little lazy, a little complacent, and probably a little of I'm freaking tired, and because I'm that person, right? I'm all of those things. And so one of the things that we have to start doing, if we are a little lazy, a little complacent, and a little tired, is we have to start outsourcing, these tasks. These tasks that we know will make us money, we have to outsource them. We can no longer rely on our level of knowledge or energy in this marketing arena, or in these new platforms. It's either a younger person's game, in the sense that they're on their little computers and smartphones every day, online, posting stupid stuff constantly and continuously. It's a part of their DNA, right? And it's not necessarily a part of our DNA, but we can still play in that arena, but we have to be a little smarter. We have to hire people that are in that arena, that are doing those things. We have to, play the game from a more mature perspective, if you will, right? We have to, utilize, the talents of these young people, the people, or maybe not so young, but the people that have the skill set to post every day. I don't want to post every day. Even when Craigslist was one of my greatest avenues of generating client base, I don't want to post every day on Craigslist. It's a pain in the ass, right? So what I would do is I hired these guys in Pakistan and in India to post for me every day, and it was awesome. They would post for me every day. I'd get all these calls coming in, and, it just made my life so much easier. So the same thing has to happen with these posts that we're doing on Instagram and Facebook, Twitter, and also the videos that we're going to put up on YouTube. We have to, even if we have to start with an extremely small budget, right? That your budget might be $50 a week. That's okay. We have to start getting ourselves out here and then utilizing. So if you're able to get a sell a week or a sell every other week, then you're going to have to start taking some of that money and putting it back into your business to help continue developing that business, because we have to post every day. We have to get ourselves out there every day. And then that way, as we have these loans coming in, as we're making this money or generating this extra capital from the loans, from the credit cards, be it personal, corporate, or business credit, we have a solid foundation that allows us to pay that money back. And I know I've said that like 5 times in this conversation, but that's how important it is to me, because I'm tired of people running out and taking what I've taught them and, for lack of a better way of saying it, fucking it up. Because what they're doing is they're messing it up for other folks, right? When you run out and get a bunch of money, and you have no intent on paying that money back, you're screwing, me as the person who showed you, and you're screwing the next, you know, 10 or 100 or 1,000 people that are coming behind you, right? Trying to get money for legitimate purposes, trying to change their existence, trying to change their life, and trying to do something real, right? So my part of my whole thing now is I don't want you running out and getting a bunch of money if you don't have an avenue to support that. And so that's why I'm telling you guys, we all, including myself, have to become better about building our businesses as well as going after the finances, right? It's they have to go hand in hand. Just they have to. We don't want nor need people out there that are just, running off with money. We don't want or need that. And so let's everybody, once again, let's start building our businesses. I used to be really, really good and I'd buy a ton of marketing stuff, but I will tell you, I don't know, once again, if it's my age or whatever, but a lot of that stuff, I'm not into it, right? And so, hey, if you gotta, that's why it's easier for me to hire these people, and I'm not trying to pay them a lot of money, so go to Fiverr. I said that like 50 times in this conversation so far, but I'm going to have to say it more and more. Get these people that know this stuff so well they can charge you a cheap price and make it happen for you. If you need a page, a capture page, one of the things that you're going to have to do is go to Aweber. Really awesome company. I've been using them for over, I don't know, probably close to a decade now. Let's call it a decade, even if it's not quite that. And with Aweber, that's where you're going to house your email list. So when you guys get emails from me, these bulk emails, these mass emails, it's because they're coming from Aweber, and they're also coming from I have a email service through GoDaddy as well. So pick or choose. Both of them are good, right? Aweber is good, GoDaddy is good. So just pick whichever one you want and use that. So this call is about to be over. I know this call is not the usual stuff, but I want you guys to understand, there are so many different ways that you can use to help yourself build and develop your business at a very reasonable cost. And so just start doing it, period. Utilize these different services I've mentioned. If you have questions or comments, you can call me 951-515-4728, or you can simply email me, Pascal, Pascal, at Vanguard, VANGUARD, Global, GLOBAL, and then LLC.com. Either way, you can just reach out to me, and I can, give you the information that I have that I hope and believe will help you. So that's going to be the end of this call. I know it's completely different than what we normally talk about, but I still hope that you guys have gotten something from this because it's just hugely important. Thank you so much, and this call is over. And this is Power Mondays Mastermind with your host, Pascal Mansell. Bye-bye.